doesn't matter. There have been multiple of my interviews that have hit ranges of millions of views around the world, exposing the criminal protocols that are killing all Americans and those around the world. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, I want you to know how I know it's working. This next, let's see, 14, 13 minutes. I just want you to know, thanks to all of you, not to me, thanks to all of you for posting and reposting. The Associated Press reached out to me 2 days ago, and this whole speech is for them. I couldn't believe the email I got. They actually reached out to me and said, this is a fact checker been assigned by the Associated Press. They want to fact check one thing that is going around the world in social media and all over the internet. I couldn't believe what it said. They wanted to fact check that my statements that remdesivir causes acute kidney failure is accurate, and they wanted all my documentation. So, I just want the Associated Press and that a journalist to know, 2 days ago, I have the screenshotted timestamp of my actual response to you, so you can't say I didn't respond. And then I put all the research studies and data, and I sent it to you. And I'm going to say this once. If you say I did not respond, then you reached out to me. If you don't publish the research studies and case studies from around the world the last 2 years confirming that remdesivir causes acute renal failure, since May 2020, I've been warning the whole world Anthony Fauci set up this deadly cocktail of treatment to murder Americans.
That's right!
I just want the Associated Press and the journalists to know who I sent all my documentation. If it doesn't show up in your article, my publications and my response, I hold you as complicit with murdering hundreds of thousands of Americans.
Yeah.
I invite all of you to fact check this. Ready? Here we go. So here's the facts. This is what I sent. You're going to want to record this, because if you want to confirm this, this is how you do it. I'm actually going to tell you what to type in to every search engine on the planet to get to these documents. Or if you go to thedrardisshow.com and put in your email, we'll just send it all to you for free. Just go. thedrardisshow.com. My goal is 100% to protect as many people as possible from dying and going to hospitals for something that early treatment at home can take care of 100% of the time. All right, so here we go. Number one, let's break it down chronologically. Number one, in December 2019, there was a study done published on the New England Journal of Medicine. Look it up, type in Ebola virus, remdesivir, Africa, 2018 to 2019, and it comes up. Look at table 2. Everybody got that? Fact check this, Associated Press. Look at table 2. There's 4 drugs put into this study for 1 year. I want the Associated Press to scroll up before you even start looking at this stuff. Look at the end of the research study. It actually tells you who funded the entire Ebola virus study. It's the National Institutes of Health Singular Department, Allergies and Infectious Disease Department, headed by who? Anthony Fauci. He funded the whole thing. It gets published December 2019. 4.5 months later, May 1st, 2020, Anthony Fauci says, there is only one drug and one drug only that's been supported and found to be safe and efficacious against the Ebola virus last year in an experimental trial against Ebola. And because it was so safe and effective, we're going to now mandate this is the only drug of treatment through all hospitals in America for this entire year. Federal government, please buy up all the reserves of remdesivir. Don't share it with another country until the end of 2020. This is what happened. Go to table 2 of the Ebola study that I just referenced. Table 2 shows that the 4 drugs that were put in there, I quote, number 1, remdesivir. In August of 2019, midway through this trial, this independent safety board looked at the data. They found that remdesivir had a death rate of 54% of everybody they gave that to. Oh, and just before you fact check that, Associated Press, the number is actually 53.1%. So don't say, I missed it by saying 54. All right, 53%, that's over half of everybody they gave the drug to. This is a 28-day treatment period. 54% of them died. It was the highest mortality rate of all 4 drugs. And it was pulled from the trial, and no other Africans were allowed to be treated with remdesivir because it was so deadly. The second drug is called ZMapp. It had a mortality rate of 49.1%. It only killed half of everybody they gave it to. ZMapp was actually put in the study by our own United States Department of Health and Human Services. They financed it and put it in there. The third drug, so just ZMapp and remdesivir were pulled at the same time by the safety board because it was proven to be more deadly than the other 2 drugs. The other 2 drugs that were allowed to continue in the trial, but on table 2 in that document, was MAB 114. It was put in by our favored DARPA department. They funded and put this singular monoclonal antibody in there. It had a mortality rate of 35%. Regeneron was the 4th drug. Anybody heard of that one? It's all over the news. It's the next miracle early treatment drug. It had a death rate of 33%. Look at table 2, Associated Press. I hope you print it. All right, so I just want to ask you, if you're not aware of this, Anthony Fauci puts out this mandate that we're only going to use remdesivir throughout the country. Only our country. And so hospitals around the country are using this experimental drug that our federal government bought out and only treated them with this. My question is, why did Anthony Fauci, who was overseeing a study for over a year, why did he select the one drug that killed more people in that trial than any of the other 3? If he would have picked any of the other 3, I wouldn't have been so upset. I would have just tried to figure out, why would you select it? He picked the one that killed the most people. The second study that he quoted is a cohort study done by Gilead itself, 2 months earlier from May 1st in March. Gilead, the patent owner and the manufacturer of remdesivir, did their own study on 53 COVID-19 patients from Japan, America, and Canada. The results I couldn't believe. I clicked the hyperlink in the actual document from Anthony Fauci. It actually shows, and this is important, of the 53 people they gave the drug to, remember the Ebola trial study was giving them remdesivir and these other drugs for 28 days. This study, 3 months after the published study of the Ebola trial, Gilead says we're only going to give these COVID-19 patients this drug remdesivir for 10 days. And let's see what happens. 23% of all the people they gave the drug to experienced multiple organ failure, acute kidney failure, septic shock, and hypotension in less than 10 days. Another 8%, and this was published by Gilead, can you believe it? 8% of them had to be taken off the drug before day 10. They had to be stopped early because there was such severe multiple organ failure and kidney failure. The actual life of the individual was in the balance, so they had to take them off the drug. That's it.